Hi, Charmy. Hope you're doing good today. Oh, and before I forget, hi, my name is Maji, and welcome to my channel. So, today I will be talking about harboring unhealthy friendships, relationships, particularly friendships. Yeah, we're talking about it. So, yeah, and also don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and yeah, let me know what else you'd like to talk about, to touch on, you know? So, let's dive right in. So, today I wanted to touch on something that has been on my mind for a while. And that is harboring relationships that no longer serve you or serve your highest good or feel low vibrational in terms of energy. And this is something that has been on my mind for some time now, but I didn't want to speak to it because I just wanted to see how I feel about it, like honestly really feel about it, because I'm someone who likes feeling things out instead of just figuring them out, right? And I've come to realize that there's a certain level of detachment that you get with certain friendships, because when we go into a friendship, you go in with the assumption that friends for life, I show pop up, is a popa till the casket drops, but not every encounter is the same, and that is okay. But I think we become so afraid of expressing, not necessarily afraid, or maybe let's use that word, afraid of expressing how we really feel about something to avoid hurting someone's feelings or being in an uncomfortable position. You understand? Friendships are great. You learn a lot from people, especially when the energy is reciprocated and it's a positive kind of energy. And that's how friendships are at the beginning. I get it. Everything feels like it's prosperous. Yeah, popa, emapozi. That is normally up until you start getting to know each other, as time goes by. And another thing is, you can feel uncomfortable or some type of way in a friendship, ne? Kanti, you also need to pay attention to the fact that maybe you are also the cause and effect of somebody else feeling that way, but now you're reciprocating that energy, not being aware of the fact that you bring that energy to the table. Maybe you're not being sincere enough. Maybe you're being pretentious. And for me, that puts me off. But again, we go back to, you can be put off, like for example, me, you can be put off by something somebody else does. And in actual fact, without even realizing, you're actually doing the same thing and the other person is being actually put off by you. Or somebody else is not receptive of the way that the kind of person that you are. Maybe they're used to a certain kind of friendship. And at the beginning, it's giving that. But as time goes by, they realize that no. Like it's on. Yeah, can't. So where do we draw the line and say, no man, this friendship is not working for me, without having to self-sacrifice and without being disrespectful to the next person? And I think that's where the stagnation comes in when it comes to friendship. That's where the pretense comes in, the tolerance of the bullshit. And it's not necessarily to say, Mhlambi, they're treating you badly or whatever. No, it's just energetically. You can feel, like you can sense. Like you can sense, no, things are not what they used to, things are not working out. And when you try and voice these things, in my experience, you come across opinions that are like, no, leave it like that, don't say anything, just to keep the peace. And what bothers me the most is, whose peace are we keeping? Are we keeping my peace? Are we keeping your peace? Are we keeping the other party's peace? Are we keeping the peace of other people that are around us who are involved in the same situation? Like, whose peace are we keeping? Why are we so afraid to let go of relationships that don't serve us, especially when it comes to friendships? You get? And then people start acting a certain way. You maybe start avoiding people. You stop talking as you used to. You can see that Titanic is chonga mamela, iceberg fikile, and the ship is cracked, but you're still trying to maintain it with a strand of hair that is not even there, like gone makabil. But you're trying. Why are you trying to maintain that? Why are you holding yourself back from your own freedom? And there's a respectful way of accepting that things are not working, just like in a romantic relationship. Anyway, it might take other people 10 fucking years to decide, but I don't think we have to get to that point if we are disciplined enough within ourselves to say no more, and break away from those unhealthy relationships that no longer serve you. So why do we then continue to maintain these things? I've met some amazing people in my life. I would like to think I've been someone who's been an amazing person that people have met in their lives. I've always thought that meeting people and becoming friends with those people, be it people that you meet at work, people that you met at school, like in Jade, everyday living at Groove, and you build a relationship. I always thought that those relationships were meant to last forever. But then I've come to realize that some relationships are just temporary. They're just meant for that moment or that phase that you're in your life, or that person came into your life to reflect back to you something that you needed to see, and that really was just it. Like, no drama, no nothing, but it ends there. If something is starting to make you uncomfortable, there's a reason for that. And if the uncomfortability is not to force you to grow into a better person, but it just makes you question a lot of things in a negative light, then you need to question yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing about it? And why do I feel the way that I feel? Especially when you can sense that things are not the same. It's also like trying to help someone that doesn't really need your help or doesn't even want your help. And when you're trying to crop yourself into the picture and play Nelson Mandela, free the nation, but Gandhi, that person does not to be freed from you. Your part or your role in the relationship ends at a certain point. There's a boundary, but maybe when you're not seeing the boundary, you've blurred the lines. When do we know that this is the boundary, or this is where the buck stops, and be okay with it? You get? I honestly, personally feel like we shouldn't have to do that. No one should have to go through that. No one should have to maintain a relationship that they can see, or try to save a relationship that they can see is on its deathbed, especially if it's taking away from your own energy. Maybe that person appreciates you being there, whatever, but when you're not receiving their energy in the same light, sometimes it feels like you're giving more than you're receiving, because any kind of relationship is a give and take, right? But there are moments where you walk into a room and you can sense that your gut is always right. It's like your navigating system that'll always tell you the truth, even if it's fucked up and even if you don't like it. And yet you stay. And that's how we stay in toxic relationships. And that's how we get into situations where there's gossip and there's unnecessary drama that could have been easily avoided if you accepted the fact that this is no longer working. You know? Because as we're growing, we should be able to be like, you know what? This was great while it was great, and now it's time to move. I think maybe we're afraid of being alone. And Dozakaya, we came here alone. None of us are getting out alive. And you're not taking your friend by the hand and leaving with them when you leave here. You find? So yeah. I also really feel like it's a topic that we avoid speaking about amongst friends. Or amongst friends that you're not really that close with. Because I can tell you, if you can have an uncomfortable conversation with somebody that you deem as your friend, and even if it's something that they did or you did, and you're able to sit down and talk about it and get over it, because the only way out is through. You find? If you're not able to do that, then is it really what you want? Unless you are into those vague friendships, those mediocre friendships that are like, hi, you, all that glitters, the sparkles is not glitter, whatever. And you're fine with all of that pretentious bullshit. But I personally feel like as we grow older, we don't have to do that to each other. We don't have to do that to ourselves. Protect your peace over everything. You don't have to fight with anyone for it. And if you feel like you're trying to address it with somebody else and you don't like the opinion that you're getting, opinions are not facts. It's either you take them in or you let them go. But you always need to understand that the most important person is yourself. And if something no longer serves you, then my darling, leave that table. Stop trying to be served with a dish that is cold that you don't even like. They're out here serving sushi when afuna inyama yegosh. No, babes. Sushi's not going to turn into lamb. Sorry. Cut. Oh. I was about to put this so busy. I'm preacher to the choir because I am the choir. I really am the choir. I've also found that you must be open to the fact that you might have close friends around you, ne? But those close friends will not automatically be close friends. Or your close friends can be closer than you, and that shouldn't bother you. As long as you're maintaining healthy relationships, healthy and sincere relationships. I'm not a friendship expert, Shem. I'm not a friendship expert. If it were up to me, I get very tired of human beings very quickly because of the energy consumption that comes with it. That's why I believe I have a very small group of friends. And we don't have to see each other every day. We don't have to talk every day. We don't have to call each other every day. We don't have to be, deep like the ocean. No. As long as we're sincere and we're truthful and real with each other, and the energy is reciprocated, and like we're vibing, so right? That's the Ben is hi, it's not those side eyes and I cut. Yeah, bo. And we don't talk about these things often. Instead, we talk about them behind each other's backs. There's that cliche saying that says that if somebody is comfortable enough to talk about me behind my back, then we've got a problem. I'm not saying come and report to me whatever people are saying, or I'm going to run to you or whatever, but if it's not a positive conversation, complimenting, or like if it's not to compliment or build each other, then why are we having that conversation? If you've got a problem with someone, speak about that problem to that particular person. That's what I believe. As much as I would also appreciate if somebody had a problem with me, to speak to me about it and see how we handle it. You know, friendships can be so draining. That's why some people just completely avoid them. Abe loner, or if they're in a relationship with their partner and they become friends with their partner and they're seen as, oh, tantin daughter, it's their preference. But when it comes to friendships, they shouldn't be draining. They shouldn't be taking up your energy. If they're starting to feel doubtful, ask yourself why. Also, try and see if you're not the cause of what feels like a problem. Address it and move on. And if it cannot be addressed and it's causing problems while you're trying to address it, then baby girl, honey, especially as females, Tina females, we've got, we are just, Jesus Christ, God, help me, men are easy. They also have their own issues, but they deal with their issues differently, if at all. Because I feel like sometimes they just avoid shit and they just let it slide and they just move like it's nothing. Don't like those kind of energies. But anyway, be that as it may, we need to have these kinds of conversations. You get. And also, it doesn't mean that just because one friend does not vibe well with somebody else that you are now inclined to take that baggage and transfer it and make it yours. Because relationships are not the same. I can be friends with friends, but not be a friend of a friend. You get, simply because energetically we don't gel well. And that should be okay. But it shouldn't be something to have tea over, something to have wine over. No. Stick to the relationship that you have with your friend, and we'll stick to the relationship that we have. But this thing of biting each other's head or turning heads or making faces or just being in a low vibrational frequency when there's somebody that you don't like in a room, I mean, baby girl, and then once we've had something to drink and then it's a jaw and it's fun and it's like nothing happened, but then when all of that is over, then we go back to reality. It's not healthy. It's not healthy, my friends. But anyway, be that as it may, I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to grow through what you go through. Bye, chummy.